Hello everyone, welcome to another video on MCP server series. In the last couple of videos, we created STDIO, which is standard input output. We also configured SSEs, which is service sent event. But in today's session, we will cover Streamable HTTP. So in STDIO, we created a console app. For server sent events, we created a function app. And for Streamable HTTP, we will create a web app. I have already created. So I will show you how this works and then we'll create it step by step. So this web app is hosted on Azure. Let me disconnect and connect again. So I can see I have deployed only one tool. If I click on that, that asks for a state code, for example, New York. If I run that tool, that fetches all the alerts, weather alerts with the New York state. So we will use a weather API. I have weather API open here. There are lots of methods in this API. But for this demo, we will cover the alerts part only. So let's get started. In our solution file, we have a function app, which we use for SEC. We have a console app, which we use for standard input output. And then we have a simple class library. So let's create a new app or new project. So this will be a web API. So that will be ASP.NET Core Web API. Let's call it. Yep. We don't need Open API support, so I can uncheck. We don't need controllers, and rest is all okay. Let's build this one and run. And the endpoint name is, I think, weather something and the forecast. Okay, so it's all working. That's okay. So the initial project we created, it's all set up well. Okay, because we don't need this weather forecast, so we can remove this one. We don't need authorization, and we don't need this as well. So we can remove this. So we have these three lines. We don't need this class, so I can remove this one as well. Okay. So for the streamable HTTP, the first thing you need to do is create a package, add a package. And the package name is model context protocol .asp.NET Core. Make sure you have this checkbox checked and install it. Okay, so we have this installed. Let's go to your program file. And we need to add the MCP server. So that would be builder.services dot add MCP server. dot with HTTP transport, and then we need to add with tools, but we don't have tool yet, so let's create a tool first. So for the tools, as per console app we create a folder first, and we created smart home tools, but this time we can say weather alerts tool. So first we create the hello world tool, and then we will add more stuff into that. So I can copy this hello world function, and we can simply return this. Okay, we need to add this in the program. Okay, so that is looking good, and now we should test it. Just run it. So copy the HTTP URL, not HTTPS. We will use HTTPS when we deploy it. Paste in here. Now disconnect the existing one and just connect. There is an error. Let's have a look. It says 404, which means not found. Okay, so we missed one line here. So that is app.map MCP. Let's stop, run again. Yep. And connect now. Awesome. If we list tool, we get that hello world tool, and we can run that. That is all okay. So the first thing is working. The hello world tool is not okay. And now we need to add a method, a tool for the weather API, which is this alerts. So there are different parameters you can pass. I will focus on the state parameter somewhere. Okay, let's try it out. Click on this button. And in the area type, just type a state code, New York. And there could be lots of alerts, so we can just limit this to maximum 10 and hit execute. And we got some data back. So this is what we are going to do through a tool in C#. Okay, let's create a tool first. Copy that. Okay. So that should be enough. So I can call this as get alerts. So we need to pass a state code. So that would be string state code, and then we need to define it what this is. So we can use description here. So that would be 2 characters state code. For example, New York. Okay, so that looks good. Uh, Next thing we need to do is we need to add HTTP client because we will be sending HTTP request to this API. And for that, go to your program. And here we need to add an HTTP client. So that would be after this. So we can say builder dot services dot add HTTP client. We can call it weather API. It is not just alert, so it's the complete API. And here we need to pass the base address. So that would be client dot base address is equal to new URI. Yeah, and that looks correct. And then we add agent default request header dot user agent dot add new product info header value, which is fine. And that name we can change to say weather tool. We can remove this. Okay, so that is done. But now next thing is we need to inject this into the tool. So that would be my HTTP client factory. Yep, we can accept that line. Using so that would be get async stream. We need to get the stream, and this would be slash alerts. Let's copy. So this will be the state port we are sending. And that would be, wait, async. And for the alerts, because this cannot return as a JSON file, JSON object, so we can create a class, and we don't have to return everything. We can just randomly pick few properties. So in the class library you already have, we can create a new class. Class is optional, but I will say we can create a class. That would be weather alert. Let's have a look at the payload. So we can get this one event. You can get this one area description. We can pick severity. We can definitely take description. Yes, I think so. That should be enough. And we need to return this in the list as a list. So that would be task of list of this. So that is in a class library. So we should ask for a reference. Yes. Okay. And here we can have a JSON document. So we got the document, and if it is null, if stream is null, then we throw an exception. That would be MCP exception. And we can say no JSON returned. Okay, so if it returns something, then we'll parse in the document. If it is null, then we just throw an exception. Okay, if we get some data back, then first thing we need to do is in this whole JSON, we need to get the features. So that I can say features. So that will be document dot root element dot get property features. And this feature is an array of objects. So we can enumerate array. Okay. Okay. What happens if um, feature array is empty or it doesn't contain any alerts? If it doesn't contain anything, then just return empty. Otherwise, we can parse the alerts. So that would be features dot select, and I think we should accept it. From this not available, I would say we pass string dot empty. And we simply return it. Okay, so that is looking good. So let's put a breakpoint and run it. Just disconnect, click and connect. List tools, yes, we get two tools. Hello World is working as expected. So this one we need state code. We said it needs to be two characters. Let's say New York. One, and let's debug it. It should be fine, but let's see. And here we go. So it returned us 10 different alerts. We have only expected these four properties, but you can go here and you can have a list of all these returned. That's up to you. And let's try with a different code. Let's say AZ. Yeah, Wyoming. So let's go for OR. I'm trying to find a state which doesn't return anything. Maybe empty. Maybe there are alerts, so that's why we are getting this data. And now next thing is we have to deploy it because we are running this locally and on HTTP. This should be deployed and we should be running on HTTPS. So I'm disconnecting this one. Just like the function app, I already had a function app, so we just deployed this function app on top of the existing one. Same for this one. I have created a web app in Azure, and it's all blank web app, nothing exists, and we can use this one to deploy it. Just publish, add a publish profile, click on Azure, click on apps, Azure App Service Linux. So that is the web app. Click on next and click on finish. And I just publish. So it has been published and now it's running the instance. Okay, looks like it's up and running. We can ignore this error. Just copy this URL, go to MCP Inspector, paste it here, and make sure this is HTTPS, and just simply connect. And it's all connected. Clear the existing one, click on List Tools. Hello World is all okay. For the alerts, just type New York, and it should be returning data from that weather API. Okay, so let's try one more state and okay, so looks all okay to me. Okay, so in this session we talk about this stream HTTP. In the previous session we have talked about SSE and STDIO, but we have tested our MCP server types with this MCP Inspector tool only. Now the next step would be to use these transport types, MCP server, and integrate into VS Code. So in VS Code, we don't have to type this state name, state code. What we will do is we will type the prompt. For example, please send me weather alert for New York. So if I execute this one here, I get an error because this needs to be a two-character state code. But in VS Code, we will type a prompt and the prompt will automatically extract this part, and then this server will be called with this state code. And that would be our next session. So in the next session, we will discuss how can we integrate all this in VS Code. And if you have any question, just put into the comments and like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.